Well, here we are, the 2005 Fantastic Four movie. I took a little break from Marvel movies, alright? This film is a very much mixed bag of a film. A film that really wants to be Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, but does not get the job done very well. For everything that this film might do right, there's another scene that just entirely is stupid or makes no sense. But it's in a way, I can't hate it because it's so goofy, but in a fun way, even if it isn't really that accurate to the characters or their story. The one thing you can say about it is it's definitely better than the 2015 movie, and hopefully the 2025 movie coming out pretty soon will be the best one. Maybe, we'll see. So the character's origin isn't too different from the original source material, with the space stuff, the Cosmic Rays stuff, but that stuff's not the most interesting thing in the world, so you think, okay, we'll get it over with and have them do interesting stuff. Well, too bad, you're wrong. Because the rest of the movie's like, wow, this sucks, we need to cure this, but one's like, why do we need to? It's kinda cool. Well, Ben sucks, well, yeah, he sucks, but I think it's cool. Well, whatever, shut up, let's do nothing. Okay, it kinda sucks. There's a lot of problems with the film, but one of the biggest problems is the fact the characters don't do a whole lot. Like, they use their powers, but it's for stupid shit. There's like an entirely pointless montage in the film where the characters are using their power for making fun of a guy who's sleeping. Walking in on somebody showering, and she has to turn invisible to hide her nakedness. Wow, funny! They do this a lot in the film, by the way. And instead of having Reed Richards do anything interesting with his scientific ability, with his new powers, all he does is shave his face, which doesn't make any sense how that'd be more useful, and grab toilet paper from a mile away. Wow, that's a great use of elasticity powers. I mean, I've had things where I need to do that, but it's just like, this montage this is one of the shots. Those are all the shots in this montage. I don't get what the fuck the point of this montage is. Apparently, we know that they had to wipe their asses. I guess they're the Sherman Bears who produced this film. I can literally count how many scenes where they save people on the count of my hand. Well, there's the one bridge scene that's kind of caused by them. And then there's the ending fight, which is not that great, against Dr. Doom, which is also kind of caused by them, but it's only because Dr. Doom wants to fight them, I guess. And yeah, that's it. That's all the scenes they do where they fight somebody or solve a crime, I guess. You think this movie would be boring, but because every other scene is just them doing something goofy or the characters being really one note, it's not bad, it's just really dumb. But I don't really hate it, but there is one character I do hate, which is Dr. Doom in this film, who's played by a guy I don't know, I never seen this guy in my life. He does a terrible job retaining this character. Instead of reading the source material, they decided to watch Sam Raimi's Spider-Man like, hey, let's make the Green Goblin again, but with an actor who cannot pull it off. This guy is definitely no Willem Dafoe, let's just say that. They literally have multiple scenes that are literally ripped off from the Spider-Man movie, where it's just like him talking to the board, like, you suck, we're losing stock because of you, you're a failure, you're out, Norman. They almost get there, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna kill you all now. Sounds familiar? Oh yeah, goes in Spider-Man! The movie came out not long ago for this film! What the fuck were you doing, Fox? You know how lame it is just making Dr. Doom just a generic CEO? There's a lot of villains that are CEOs, but he's not a CEO. He's a fucking ruler of his own fucking country. That's actually a very unique character combination. It's a country that doesn't exist, obviously, but the character has never been properly adapted. The closest was in that 1990s never-released film. And here he's a CEO. So now his powers are lightning powers that he got from the Cosmic Rays like they did, but keep in mind, Dr. Doom does not have any of those powers. He just uses science and magic, which he combined together to make his own power set. Here he has metallic skin somehow. He's like, oh, am I dying? You're like, oh, maybe you are, but no, he's not, so that was the point. Also, yeah, his company's failing and he wants to marry Sue, but that doesn't go anywhere either. It's like, everything about this character is like, terrible, and this guy is just not intimidating. He comes off as really goofy, which again, is not the character you're supposed to be. So I guess he just hates all the Fantastic Four members now, because, I don't know. In the comics, it's not really that well defined either. But here's motivation seems even more lackluster. Like, he was thinking he'd be mad that Reed Richards stole his girlfriend, but he doesn't care at all. Also, he's in a relationship with Sue for some reason, and he's going to marry her, but then she doesn't say anything to it, and then it's never brought up again. Like, these guys, people are wanting to get married, apparently, and then there's, like, never brought up again. She's like, actually, I always liked Reed. What the fuck? This movie's so shitty. Why did the whole point of the characters in the comics was that they were already in a relationship, Reed and Sue, but here they're had to get back together because they broke up already, I guess. And yeah, I don't buy the relationship either, even though they have to build it up, apparently. It's done pretty badly, because I don't believe that Reed likes anything but science in this movie, and Sue Storm is terribly written in this movie. Not as bad as Stan Lee wrote her in the original comics, because her writing was pretty bad there too, but here she's just a stock girl who gets naked all the time because she's hot. Yeah, great writing there, Tim's story. I don't know if Tim Story actually wrote the film, but he directed it. Let me look up who wrote it. Let's see here. Mark Frost and Michael France. Okay. I don't know them, but yeah, I guess it really reads that these two guys were just very horny. Oh, one of them wrote the Hulk and Punisher movie and Cliffhanger? Well, I guess that kind of makes sense. I'm not joking when I say there's multiple scenes of this happening where she has to strip naked in order to turn fully invisible, but it doesn't go all the way through and people get to see her in her underwear. Like, oh wow, look at that, isn't that hot? They could have had her ability with telekinesis and shit like that, not telekinesis, or force field powers, whatever the hell it is, to also work on the clothes, but instead they had to do it where it's like, oh yeah, she has to strip naked, isn't that hot? Also, in the context of this scene, I have no idea why she even does this, because the other two guys just were easily able to walk through anyway, and then, so what was the point for her turning invisible here? I'll tell you why. It was an excuse to have Jessica Alba in underwear in the middle of a crowded scene, apparently. Very funny. So yeah, you can kind of see what the big problem with this film is, but you know what? I don't hate it. One, it's pretty fast-paced. There's nothing's really boring about it, even though it is really dumb. And you know what? There's a lot of dumb but funny scenes in the movie you just gotta love. Like Johnny, the Human Torch in this film, who's played by future Captain America actor, all he does throughout the film is really say, fuck everybody, I want to do my own shit. And the other thing that goes good with this film is I think The Thing is well adapted in this film. He's not that greatest, and I think the 90s outfit looks slightly better, but is practical and not as good, and I think he's given a good performance here. It fits the character pretty well, even though I feel like they could have done a little bit more. Well, it could have been better, it could have been greater. Though I gotta mention, there's this really dumb scene in the movie that I still do not get, even as a kid I thought it was stupid. So after they get off from this ship, Johnny's like, you know what, I'm gonna go snowboarding, yeah! And the nurse is like, wow, you're so hot, I gotta do your temperature, and your temperature's hot, and she says nothing about this, despite the fact it was at 209 degrees. Instead, she goes snowboarding with him. Apparently, she had the equipment ready. Apparently, they have a helicopter and all this shit just to go snowboarding when a pop punk song plays in the background that it doesn't fit the film at all, but you know, I kind of enjoy it. Also, there's random slow motion for no reason.
My future wife!
Why does he say that? This is the first time he met her, and guess what? She never appears again in the rest of the film. Why is he like, that's my future wife? What are you talking about? So what's the point of this snowboarding scene? Well, other than to be the most 2000 things ever, it showcases that he can turn on fire, I guess. But that's not where it gets dumb. Well, apparently, he burned off all his clothes and now is in a hot tub in the middle of the glaciers, and this random-ass shot of her legs like that. He's like, care to join me? It's a joke, and then she's like, yeah, let's fuck! What the fuck happened here? This girl's never seen again, by the way. What a weird scene. To make this even funnier, when he comes back, he's fucking naked. So he ran all the way back from the snow with the fucking jacket over his dick the whole time. This movie is so dumb, but you know, it's kind of hard to hate. It's borderline insulting to the original comics, but at the same time, it's not that bad. But, you know, the sequel's probably better. I haven't seen that one in a while either. But I kind of nostalgic for this film, so that's why it's not too bad. It takes forever for them to actually fight, and when they do, it's okay. The effects aren't terrible, even though some of them don't look that great. And you know what? The costumes aren't awful either. They're pretty decent. They could be a little better, but for what we have, it's not bad. It's accurate to the comics for the most part, even though they trade black for white. This film could have been so much more, but for what it is, it's okay, I guess. I don't know why her nose bleeds either. It doesn't happen in the comics, I don't think. But yeah, that's 2005's Fantastic Four. It's not a great film, but you know what? It's not awful either, but even though it has a lot of really dumb scenes. And oh, apparently they're gonna get married. They had so much screen time about their relationship, it makes perfect sense. Whatever it is, whatever. Here it is, the current tier list, and I'll see you next time with Man-Thing, I believe. I didn't forget this series, I just took a break. Alright, thank you for watching.